Hello.
Tried to do that on the beat then. Did it work? Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, my little box watchers, and welcome to the Lucy Show. Let me take that banner off. Come on, Lucy has some decorum. Yeah, so this is 4 of 4, but when I set the stream up, I was quite tired. I forgot to put 4 of 4 in the title. Yeah, I was preparing some food, so I was very childlike and unable to eat, unable to think. And by the time I'd eat the sandwich and already done the show, then I realised all the mistakes I'd made. Brilliant. Hi, my name is Lucy. I will be I'll be the driver of this show. And to my left is producer Chris. Hey.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for all joining along this tonight. Yeah, basically get involved on the chat. Tell us where you are, what you're doing. Just get involved. Get your fingers typing. Come on. We've got a couple of people already come in on the chat. We've got Mrs. Reed. Evening, ladies. Looking fab as always. Come on, there she is. Looking fab as always. And then, of course, we've got birthday boy, David Wall. Where is he? Costa del Somerset. Who knows? Probably only got him for a few seconds. He's probably starting work in a minute.
Probably in an airport somewhere.
Oh yeah, probably just having that last pint before he catches the plane. And then we've got obviously with Noel with the starting line. Come on, Lucy, you've done this for 3 years. Right. Hi, Mum. Hi, Ray. Hi to Lucy Sidekick, and welcome to the Christine Show. Yes. I don't know why I'm so proud of being basically told it's not my show anymore. But hello.
All over.
I know. Hello, everybody. Oh, he's in Teesside. David is in Teesside on Sea. It's not sunny here, lol. See if I can use it. I'm trying to get the pen.
Is it sunny anyway?
Well, technically, at this time of night, no.
You've just got rain.
Yeah, you've got terrible rain, haven't you? I was about to go for a walk today when the skies opened. The minute I said I was going to go for a walk, you could literally see the rain bouncing off the ground. And I just thought, of all the things I've packed, I haven't packed wellies and a sou'wester, so that got put to the back burner. But for those of you who are new, please feel free to get involved however you're watching this, via Facebook, via YouTube, via Twitch. Please let us know how you're watching, where you are, what you're doing, and if you've had a good week. In case you aren't familiar with the show, we've got a little format. So we go through my week, then we go through Mum's week, then we go through the Villages week, and then a little look at people's birthdays this week. It's a weekly show, everybody. Catch up with the theme. And then this week, what we've seen on TV and radio as well. That falls into the South Bank show, definitely. And then a quick thank you, and I let you all go. Sometimes I get led astray by the chat, and just squirrel. I get distracted. I'm trying to get. Oh, the pen's over there. Yeah, I didn't stop much, but I only stopped about half an hour ago. Usually, I stop, I relax, I look through my notes. There are notes before you get in touch, and then I try and. I try and do a very casual show, but I'm still on the back foot a bit. And look, we've got hi from Jay Griffith. Hi, Lucy, how are you? Well, somebody was mentioned in the birthday update last week. It was you. What I've started doing, I've noticed, is when Facebook says, "Oh, it's so and so's birthday, would you like to say happy birthday?" And I write it on my list for the show, and then I forget to tell them. And my argument is, they should be watching the show. Yeah. Oh, look, got a message come in from Posty with the Mosty. There they are, my girls. Hey, man. Oh, the arachnids are out. Spider's here. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Mum. Glad to see you all. Because he's American. See what we did there? And I just saw you roll your eyes at me, Spider, even though I'm not looking at you. Because he does the most amazing. It's a sigh, lip pinch, eye roll. All it's beautiful. So let's turn to the right page. Let's have a look. Go. Haha. Thank you. Where are you in the world? Says Jay. Jay can't say. Europe.
Top secret.
Top secret. Can't say. That's how I live now. I'll give you a clue. It's not North Devon. There we go. That's as much as I can tell you. And Spider says, ha ha ha, I did. It's nice when you know your mates. Let's get some banners up, shall we? This craziness. There we go. So Lucy update. Oh, we've got a little bit of AJ popping in on there. Hello, AJ, sending lots of love. Mwah. So the Lucy update this week is a bit disjointed, only because I don't know, it's been a bit of a weird week. It's gone like that. Lots and lots of lovely fairies, absolutely loads of fairies, and I really have covered the spectrum. So I went on one ferry, which felt like I was on a mini cruise. I almost came off with a sombrero, a lei, and some sort of beach inflatable under my arm. And then the next one was a freight only ferry. So it's only for trailers. So you take your trailer to the ferry port and drop it, and then they put it on, take it off, and then the other people on the other side collect it. And then there was 3 of us. So you went from the one beautiful, had free Wi-Fi, I had free view in my room. It was just lush. To the next one, seeming a little bit more like a documentary for the History Channel. Because the 3 of us were sort of bundled in, and it was definitely like a very strange version of Big Brother. Myself and 2 gentlemen, but we all got on. We all were chatting. It was brilliant. There was food put out for us, but it just, I don't know. It's sort of like camping met fairies.
Right, Lucy.
Yeah.
Fifes used to do. I don't know whether they still do it, but Fifes used to do cruises on their banana boats, and they'd have maybe 10 cabins. And
I think that's what I did. I think that's what I've experienced now.
Yeah, and people used to be on that list for years because it was so good. The dining was fine dining, and well, on Fifes it was, and people used to just long to be on that container ship.
In a way, yes, it was like that. Is my window shut? Yeah, sorry, I've just suddenly got lots of little flies coming. And all my windows are shut. That's strange. Yes, it on paper it was like that, but don't think of it as like there was catering. They'd cooked us some food.
Were you in the crew quarters?
Well, so they had. I mean, right? Yes, it was crew quarters. So I got a little bit confused on going up and down the stairs, and I nearly walked into the brig. But as I was going up, so I saw like radar lines going over the roof and stuff, and I thought, oh, I should not be here. I should not be here. And to get from where you were, it was like it was like some sort of assault course of just metal stairs all the way there. How the hell I found my way there, I don't know. And then so there was an option of salmon, chicken Kiev, and some sort of vegetarian pasta. And I thought, well, I'll have a bit of Kiev and a bit of pasta. And then I realized in the pasta there was pork. So there wasn't actually, unless you count just a plate of chips as the vegetarian option, and then taking a step further, just some warm but frozen veg, the vegan option. I don't know. you know, it's not as progressive as you could think. And then there was soup, and I've opened it up, and it was basically smaller bits of the salmon in a broth, floating.
Lovely.
And it looked as though when we went there, it was only a 9-hour ferry crossing, but that same broth had been sat there for the same duration. So a brave person goes for that.
But I mean, I might be wrong, but I don't think I've heard of very many vegan truck drivers.
I know some. I know
do?
some. I do. And it's really fucking difficult. So they have to go vegetarian when they're on the road, and they go vegan when they're at home. But it's very much like my big fat Greek wedding when you go, can I have something vegetarian? And they go, yes, lamb.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's only so many cheese slices you can have, Chris.
Well, you can't have a cheese slice if you're vegan, can you?
No. On the one ferry though, on the one that seemed like a holiday. Oh, we've got a couple of comments. Jay's in Newmarket, House Boothwell. Morning all from Ed Smith, farmer with the mosty. Hi Ed. And then
Hi, Ed.
so I was on the ferry and I was on my phone, and this guy looks over and he goes, "Do you know the passcode for the Wi-Fi?" And I just picked up my phone and went through and showed him. I said, "Oh yeah, I took a picture," and he went, "Oh." And I said, "Yeah, it's the poster right there in front of your face when you got your food, like eye level." And he went, "Yes, but I'm tall."
Okay.
Okay. Right. I mean, he wasn't that tall. I mean, in the same way that it was obviously taller than me and I had to look up. Maybe he could start looking down as a technique for major information that's right in front of your face, you lazy bastard. Oh, look at that. We've got Michael from Seattle. I'm here. He says he's even got here before the village update started. I have for those of you that are familiar with the movies Men in Black, I have had a lot of experiences last week and over the last couple of months with Men in White. It doesn't matter what country I'm in, and I'm getting to visit lots of different countries now. Men in white cars drive like fucking idiots. And I don't I don't want to say it's the car colour, but I'm starting to get quantifiable evidence on it. So I've noticed that when you're pootling along, say on a German road, so you can do 130, 150 if you've got a fucking porch and a chip on your shoulder, and you can bomb along, and if somebody absolutely dares to overtake anything and goes in your lane, you can drive 1 centimeter behind their back tires, and don't just think, well, they'll see me. You then move over to the middle lane, so you're driving in the middle of the road, and you can flash them to tell them that they're getting in the way of your life. And I find it really fascinating that a road network can allow and feed such toxic driving. But then another white car I saw the other day, I was driving along in the one lane, and it was stop traffic. Everybody was in gridlock. And about 4 miles an hour, he drove into the vehicle in front of him. It was quite funny because it was a Tesla. And I imagine
it's self-drive.
Well, that's just it. Get in touch on the chat if you're aware of these things. But aren't we being told that Teslas are robot cars? So I know that on trucks I've driven, there are sensors. Doesn't matter what I'm doing, but if somebody pulls out immediately, we can hit the windscreen because the brakes get put on, and it's very, very annoying. And I would have thought in a car that costs the same as a house that it would have a sensor. Is that not? Can you please get in touch on the chat if you've got any knowledge of sensors on Teslas?
Or if you have one.
Yeah, or if you have one, let me know if you have one. Because if you're paying that much money, shouldn't it have a? That's a bit close. I thought I thought somebody messaged in, but it was Matt. Right, Michael. Teslas are not fully self-driving. It's supposed to prevent humans from crashing. No. So what if he wasn't a human?
Ooh, never thought of
Ooh.
that.
I've been watching way too much Doctor Who. Noel's reply to the guy with the Wi-Fi code. You should have given him the wrong code. I know, but the thing is, he was sat right next to me, and there's not a lot of places to run. You can't really piss people off when you're in that kind of environment. I will come up with a new one though. Yes, and yes, I've seen a couple of men on TikTok messaging in on women's rights issues, which is quite funny. And one guy, this is my favorite quote, he wrote, "If women are paid less, then why don't people employ more women?" Well, there we go, solved. Basically I went onto his profile, and there was a big post about how the gender pay gap is actually false accounting, and it's just propaganda from women's groups.
Wow.
Because we've got nothing else to do with our free time. And then I'd like everyone to see these. Do you think they look quite similar?
Yes, ish.
Right, well, this one is travel detergent for giving like a t-shirt. Say you can spill coffee down your top. It's been known to be happening. You can wash your tops whilst on the road. And this is toothpaste. Now, I have now made the executive decision that the travel detergent no longer travels in my wash bag, because it takes about 6 hours for the soapiness to come out of your mouth. Because I brushed my teeth with detergent. And this is what really got me. Warning. Causes serious eye damage. If medical advice is needed or have product container, keep out of reach. If in eyes, rinse cautiously within several minutes. Remove contact lenses if present and easy to do. Continue rinsing. Immediately call a poison centre and the doctor, and it's given the National Poisons Information Number. I thought I was going to die. I don't know why I went to take the cap off. What was I going to do? Sniff it or lick it? I don't know. I'm putting that away out of reach now. Michael, I hope you get paid fair. Oh, I know. Look at that. Linen fresh. Michael says, I hope you get paid fairly. I do now. Is all I can say. But yes, that is the Lucy update. Mothership, what has been going on in the Christine update?
Well, I've had a few nice days where I've had earlier shifts. So
Yay.
I've been home early. One day last week, there was a young girl in the store, and she had a cup of coffee, not from our place, from another place. Anyway, she dropped the coffee. So obviously we went to clean it up, and she said to me, "Is there anything I can do to help?" So I turned to her.
This is a very dangerous place to put yourself in, lady. Not you, the one who asked you, because I'm sure you've got a fucking list.
And I just looked at her and I said, "Oh, no thanks. You've done enough."
Oh, Mum wasn't angry, but she was disappointed. Wow.
And she said, "Well, I didn't do it on purpose." I said, "No, but you've done enough."
It may not have been on purpose, love, but you still have done it.
Yeah. And then on the weekend, there was a country show in one of the villages across.
Mm-hmm. Where the curious chickens now live.
And it was only small, and it was in one of these country house estates. Very nice. But I was a little concerned because I don't know what they did with the deer.
Yeah, I thought that was
They,
strange.
yeah, they're normally there, but they must have been put somewhere else. And it was lovely. There were, you know, all craft things and bands and all that jiggery pokery stuff. So we went to the first little craft place, and I thought, oh, that is so cute. It was a picture made of pebbles and of cats. So I thought, I'll have a think about it. You know, walked on. We went into every little stand there, and I thought, I don't know. These pictures are all the same. There's nobody at home making these. They're obviously buying them in. So just little pebbles and
Yeah.
made birds or dogs. And there were all these birds and dogs everywhere. But the first one we went to and we'd seen, had pictures of cats. It was the only one that had cats. So I made an offer. Oh,
Oh, that's quite cute. I think they're made by the people. I don't think they buy them in. I mean, I don't think it's that difficult to locate, you know, a round
they
pebble.
were all the same. All the ones that had the birds were identical. So, you know, unless it had stick by numbers and all the same size pebbles, I don't know.
Oh. Who knew that Etsy was going to start becoming a conspiracy theory?
Yeah. So probably all made in Hong Kong.
Your first offspring is offered as well. You should have got her another coffee.
I don't think so.
It's a very nice picture, Mum.
So then we went and because it was raining, we thought, well, we won't stay here and get wet. So then we went to the local garden centre where I bought a beautiful flower pot for the plant that I brought home from work that was really not well. And we christened it Twiggy, if you remember, because it was just 2 twigs, nothing else.
Yep.
And now it's gone nuts because you bought that baby bio and we put that in it.
Yep.
So I thought, a new little home for it.
Nice.
I haven't planted it up yet because it's been raining every day.
I know that there's a couple of people watching that aren't from the UK that hope to one day travel to the UK, either live or on catch up, because the time zone. I know a lot of people watch this on catch up. But when you do get across to the UK and people say, what's the first thing you want to do? Now, going for lunch at a garden centre is possibly the most British thing you can do, especially if it's raining. If it's raining. Pay slightly above the odds for ham, egg and chips, or get a cake that was made in someone's kitchen. They're all locally produced cakes. We don't have a lot of food standards when it comes to cakes in a garden centre. Literally anyone can turn up and sell a sponge. Please don't get in touch with me. I know that all of the suppliers to the local cake shops.
But
God, you know that's probably the most controversial thing I've said on this show.
Yeah, they've got a captive audience because once you're there, well, then you look at the plants.
Oh, yeah, you have a little walk around.
And then you think, oh, do I really need it? No. Do I really want it? Yes.
In fact, later on, when people say to you, you meet other British people, and you go, "Did you go to Britain?" Oh, yeah, I went to Britain. What'd you do? Went for lunch at a garden centre, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're basically native." I believe some garden centres stamp your passport as well, just to make sure that you've done it as well. Yeah. And also, the good thing about most garden centres is you go there and you buy a postcard if you want of your local area. And for some reason, you can always buy postcards that aren't of your local area, which kind of
Yes.
defeats the whole purpose of buying a postcard, because you're meant to buy a postcard from the area you're in. And instead you can go, oh, look, I'm in Devon, but I can buy one that says Somerset and Cornwall. This one says, welcome to London.
Yes, so that was my my little excitement for the weekend, and it was very nice. Of course, they had, as per every country show,
Yep.
vintage cars. Minis seem to take up a lot of space, but hey, you know, someone's taken the trouble to do that car up and have it lovely and shiny. So, yeah. But it was nice. It was just everybody out with their dogs. It was really nice.
Leona, are you watching? Are you watching, Leona? Because when it comes to classic car drives, there are some lovely classic cars. There are some beautiful. I mean, even with like an original first ever Mini, or your Rolls Royce or Bentley or the old Jeeps and stuff. But I could swear that Leona said that she went to one recently and there was like it's the Vauxhall Astra. And it's like, does that mean that we're old? You know, it's like when you hear a song on the radio and someone goes, that great old hit, and you're thinking, bought that in shop. That's not classical music. I literally bought that from the shop. And then you realise that actually cars from your day are now classified as classic cars.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I know, it's crazy.
How fucking old am I?
Yeah, you know, when they've got sort of
fucking Corsa.
Fords from, you know, 60s and 70s, and you think, really?
I know, but for me, Mum, it's early 90s. If you think about it, bloody turn of the millennium, that car's now 22.
And I did see a Hillman Imp, and I always remember that my cousin Pete had a Hillman Imp when I was very small, and I thought it looked huge. But when you see it, actually, I think it's maybe either a little teeny weeny bit bigger than a Mini, or the same size or smaller.
How the hell did cousin Pete get in an Imp then? Because the man was bigger than the big green giant.
I know. You have to slide.
Did he fold himself up and then someone just slid him in sideways? And he had his knees coming out the doors like a clown car.
Yeah.
We've got Michael said I want an international postcard store so people can pretend to have travelled the world. Well, look, hey, the way the cost of living prices is going, people can visit your store and become an hey, and if they're really good, they can even they can buy 6 Australian postcards and come away with a fake accent. Look, hey, from Al. Hey, Lucy, I made it. Hey. Alistair's in Australia. Christ, you're up early. Michael, there are cars from the 90s in museums. I know. Things you were picked up from school in are now like special. Which takes us on to the village update. Press the button. Now that the children are going back, we're getting a little bit more of life, because my theory on the school holidays, children being at home sucks the fun out of a village, and none of the adults dick about as much, and that really does affect me as a presenter. Selfish. There was in one village, they're having a dog show. We've had a county show, we had a car show, and you can have a dog show. And I have been to a dog show. There's a lot of working dogs. It's not like Crufts.
No.
Think 40 by 60 meter area. It's quite chaotic. As you'd guess, quite a lot of dogs. And there's a lot of races, and it's just someone selling beers out the back of someone's Jeep, pound a tin, and the money goes to charity. Just don't check the sell-by dates. It's brilliant. There's a raffle. It's usually a meat raffle if they can keep the meat away from the dogs. But somebody has been taking down the posters for the dog show.
Oh, that's cruel.
And this is not Crufts. These are not pedigreed dogs that are being bred over and over again to the point where like they can't even breathe. These are dogs. Like this one's Harry. This this is my dog Cheddar. This is people from that area taking their dogs just for a day out. And there'll be a couple of gun dogs, and there'll be a couple of working dogs, and there'll be all fancy dogs. But then there's like nicest dog with the most sunny outlook. It's not a case of this dog has been bred so hard with his own cousins, he's got 3 eyes. This is not Crufts.
Dogs that will actually sit down when their owner says.
Oh, no, not these dogs. No. At a dog show, it's like, on your marks, get up. Can you get them back? On your marks, get Harold. Your dog's humping my leg again. Bring it back. It's brilliant. It's a show for the people. So to think that someone's thought that this show is cruel and has taken it down, it's sort of like, it'd be more believable if they were protesting posters than protesting dog shows. Then there was hang on. Ed obviously he's got to chip in with the dog show. I mean, do you find that's a fair representation of a dog show, Ed? That it's not Crufts. I've got a working dog, but he doesn't work very well. Hey, it's the taking part that matters, isn't it? It's the thought that counts. Does he think about rounding up your sheep? No.
And then get Ed to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like slides down and goes, Dad, can you? I did the last ones. Now there's a door, and we're going to say a phantom door blocker. This person is not a phantom door blocker because she's made herself very known. So imagine, come with me on a journey. You've got a house. So imagine, just a wall like that, but the front door comes inwards. So you've literally got like a slice taken out where your stairs and your house comes in, and there's be a living room. Maybe your kitchen or dining room, but the fact is you protrude at you go towards the front of your house, and all of a sudden then there's the street, and this person is parking their cars straight across their front door. They haven't even got a doorstep. They go straight out onto the pavement, and they've asked this woman, they've seen the woman do it, and she finds it funny and flicks them the V's or the birds, whatever you want to call them, deuces. And she's quite aggressive about it. She laughs as she walks about and basically tells Jeff off. So the woman took a picture and said, look, if anyone knows her, can you explain to her that basically she's got a pram or someone's got mobility issues, and quite frankly it's difficult to get out of their own house because this woman finds it funny. And the woman's excuse is other people in the village park on pavements, but nobody else blocks a door. So that's like saying, well, those cars have got wheels, I can block your door. There's no logic with it. So a lot of people suggested things to do. Birdseed on the car, so the birds peck it. What was it? Vaseline, Marmite, and honey were some of the things under the door handle. Expanding foam in the exhaust, or the, what would you call that in America? An exhaust pipe, gas exhaust pipe. In the exhaust. So they named, and then basically it got as far as like just smash the door through. And the woman kept going, yeah, thanks for that suggestion, but she'll get me arrested, or she'll have a go at me, or don't want to do this, that, the other. And the one guy literally, after all these insane suggestions, came on and just went, well, I don't know what's wrong. Everyone's given you solutions. You've not taken any of them.
What? How to break the law in 10 easy steps.
This woman's like, if you know her, can you tell her to stop being such a plonker? She's very aggressive. I don't wish to challenge her myself. And I was like, smash the fucking car in, cover it in paint. And she's like, no, no. But apparently, according to this man, she's just not taking suggestions. Ed says, yeah, Alistair in Australia says, we've dog shows here too. It's not like Crufts, is it, Al? Sean is watching. Sean, somebody had a happy birthday on the birthday section the other day. You would know if you watched. And then we got Ed Smith about regards to his dog. I won't tell you what I call him at times. I'm imagining it's Woofy Woofle. No, I was going to suggest the foam one, sis. Al, he's got a little bit more bogan. He's gone potato in the exhaust pipe. And Michael, who just loves picking up different British words off me, he's just picked up the fact he likes the word plonker. And that he has heard it before. But we all took what we needed from that little injection there, Michael. Well, if you're not taking the suggestions. Look at that. Now, I haven't got the full story. I'll try and get it for next week. I only saw it just before I went live. But it's border news. So it is from the next county over. It's one with the apples in it. Somerset cat home safe after Bristol airport coach trip. The owner was not impressed. Not impressed at all.
What, it actually brought to the press?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to read the whole, and I'll make sure I carry it through to the next village update. We'll get more developing updates as they come in on the Bristol cat. But yes, she posted it on one of the local village forums over the border, and she just went, little shit made the news. And what I can say is a comment from the cat was, I don't care and I'll do it again. Also, in the sorry, hang on. Michael has put, I've actually not heard plonker before. He mistyped. So we know he has heard plonker now. I hope you understand the use of a plonker. For example, when I washed my teeth with detergent, my mum texted me and said that I was a plonker, or other word to that. Was that the word you used? No, I think it was a little bit more harsh.
It probably was, very much.
In case you can't remember, Mum, you called me a dickhead.
Yes, I thought that would be, which is almost the definition of a plonker.
Of a plonker. So then we've got in the next town over to where we used to live, upwards, not downwards. Some little scroats, there's another word for you there, Michael, some little scroats, has put fairy liquid in one of the big fountains.
Oh,
now, your instinct is to laugh, but they are usually community funded, those things, which means the cleaning will have to come out of community funded. You can mess the pipes up, and also birds drink out of that as well. So you stupid little scroats. You absolute plonkers. Yes. Yeah. There's on one of the village sites, somebody's had puppies, and they keep posting videos of the puppies. I believe that when the puppies are old enough to be sold on, they will be, but they're amazing. But I've been watching all the videos, but this one really caught me. It's a very long row of steps, and this one puppy wanted to get down the step, didn't want to make the giant leap from here to here. So just for 3 or 4 minutes, just walked up and down trying to find out if there was a lower part of the step. Check down there, still a huge jump. Check all the way over there, still a huge jump. Yes, I know I'm describing to you a dog video, but hey, if you've seen the village update, this is prime rib. And on the similar village forum, somebody said, has anyone got dirty water? my taps are running dirty water. So then we've got the whole roll call. Mine is, mine isn't, mine is, mine isn't. And it turns out it's because the guy in the big white house is burning all of his building rubbish to the point where more caught fire and they had to call the fire brigade out. They told him he's not meant to do it, but he's probably going to do it again. So one woman, and she sounds like a right lovely person. Well, considering he's new in the village, this is not exactly a good way to introduce himself to us. Who do you think you are? Didn't knock on my door and ask permission. I mean, at no point did anyone go, I got asthma.
No, but it is one way of he obviously read the booklet, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
So somebody put, it's not the guy that owns the house, it's the building developer. Therefore, he probably doesn't give two hoots. No hoots were given in the making of this bonfire. But yeah, nobody went on and said, my cat's best mate's teddy bear's got asthma. None of that. I just thought that was lacking because it was building materials as well. It's going to be toxic. I thought all the asthmatics must have been too weak to even text that they couldn't breathe. Then we've got somebody. One of the guys that does the local pork roasts. They had a cancellation due to bad weather, so they were selling off bags of meat. Now, I'm sorry if you're a vegan or a vegetarian watching this, but oh God, roast pork is amazing. And
you'd buy a bag of crackling as well.
Oh wow, 100%, 100%. I lent on the volume, by the way, and that was me reverberating in my own self. Yeah, so it was like £3-4 a bag, and you could put it in the freezer. Oh, pulled pork. So I blame you for missing out on that. And then somebody said, "Hi, sorry to be rude, but just moved into the area. That was a bit cheeky, but has anyone got any free cuttings or little samplings that they don't want?" Fucking 30 offers of free plants she got.
Wow.
Except somebody said, suppose you got room for three ashes, 3 ash samplings, and she just went, no. I like the foundations of my house. No, don't just take them round. Don't just leave them round. But yeah, it was a really good idea. And then somebody on their way before work, they said, "Does anyone know what the back roads to Exeter are like?" And basically everyone came back with rough, full of potholes, overgrown hedges, and very little tarmac was the response.
Hey, that's a very good description.
I thought it was bob on. She might have been wanting a little bit more detail with regards to traffic. She said, "I didn't get this in time. I took the motorway." Birthday section, very quiet birthday section. If you're still watching, obviously, Jay Griffiths from you were in one previously. Sean Powell, you were in one previously. Adrian Parkhouse, that I used to work with at Gregory's, happy birthday. Lovely girl from the festival scene, Kate Kirkby, beautiful photography work as well. Truck driver, I believe he's a truck driver. I've only seen him holding a pint. I've never seen him actually in charge of a vehicle. Carl Robinson, and Scottish beautiful soul comedian Lorraine Hudless. It's a very short birthday list this week.
But next week, since we're not here, it'll be a large section.
Oh yeah.
Because there
Absolutely.
are people around about this time having birthdays.
Yes.
I know of one.
Yes. I just remembered who you're on about. I was saying yes to everything you just said until I actually realised what you meant. And yes, I know one too. I would ring him for his birthday.
Close to us.
I'd ring him for his birthday. Probably got stuff to do, a bit busy. I haven't heard from him for months, so why should I ring him? Right, moving on to TV and radio. This is where the meeting of minds is. This is sometimes you're lucky enough to hear me explain the Marvel universe. Radio wise, I still haven't finished CD Reader, but I'm keeping it because I just know at the moment I'll probably stay awake and listen. I don't know, it's weird. I'm it's almost like I'm keeping it for best. Still waking up in the morning and immediately putting on Jason PJ. Noel's just replied, "Who's that?" Laughing emojis. Some entitled shit, been spoiled all his life. And I've moved on to the Something to Die for Me to Go to Sleep To from BBC Sounds app is Baldi, Dr. Paolo Baldi, who
All
is
right.
he's a Franciscan priest, but he's having a sabbatical and teaching theology in the University of Dublin. Well, if that isn't a page turner, I don't know what is. But I'm loving it. And then TV wise, now you watched it. A quick message from Alistair. September's a busy time. It's 9 months after New Year's Eve. Very good point. Yeah, everyone regret their life in 5, 4, 3. Shops are shut, can't buy condoms. Yeah, so you've already watched this episode, but I've watched Lucy Worsley, Dr. Lucy Worsley's BBC show about the witch trials, and I can't remember the exact name of it right now. But if you type in Lucy Worsley into the BBC iPlayer, you'll find it, and it is about the witch trials. Which it's witch trials for me is something I get very passionate about because they weren't witches on trial; they were women, and it was just an excuse to kill women. And one day there was a storm, and a guy said, I bet a woman had done that was a witch. He wrote it down in a book, and all the other men that could read it, and they went, fact, it's written down. It's basically medieval writing is the Wikipedia of the Dark Ages. Just because it was written, people believed it. Oh, it's in ink. It's in ink. I mean, look at the Bible. Must be true. And Chaucer, they believed he was a good writer just because he was written. Awful writer. And so then the persecutions of the European witch trials happened. From Scotland went into the UK, France, Spanish, Italy. Finnish was the worst. It just spread like wildfire, and thousands of women were persecuted over 100 years. And this episode really pissed me off. So I went and spoke to a couple people on the forum. I True Crime Forum I'm on, and they suggested listening to a podcast called The Witches of Scotland. And it's fascinating. Each week they look at one individual witch or a movement or a village. And I have to say, I've done about 6 episodes back to back.
Wow.
And I pulled up at this place to collect, and they said it'll be an hour. So I went straight back to the cab, put the podcast back on, and they came back after half an hour, and I couldn't get the podcast to stop. It said it was stopped. The phone was basically turned off, and the podcast was still coming through. What's that mean?
Witchcraft.
Yeah, exactly. Which I really enjoyed. So you've seen the other ones. I've still got those to come, haven't I?
Yes, you have. They're very good.
But the Witches of Scotland, what they're trying to do, and at the moment they're trying to get a bill through, the witchcraft bill, trying to get it abolished because it's still alive in the UK. And they want a pardon, an apology, and a monument. And I think about fucking time too. And I think we could do with having them a few bit more around, considering I think it's Henry Melville in Edinburgh has got like a Nelson's column type statue, 150-foot column, with a statue on it. They crowdfunded it. The government didn't pay for it. They crowdfunded it way back when. And because he was making money out of slavery, the slave trade, he managed to bugger up the abolition of slavery. He possibly caused a further 600,000 lives to be cost. And he's got a 150-foot statue. Thousands of women were murdered. And they've got an old brass water fountain that doesn't work, that's now being used as a planter.
Well, you know.
Well done. You got it. Perfect. On par. Fucking idiots. I've watched a little bit of Charmed, watching Doctor Who, and every now and again I watch an episode of The Witcher and I still don't have a clue what's going on.
Right.
I don't know what makes me press play. I think I just downloaded a couple of them, and then when I'm on a ferry or something, I'm like, play, and I go, and then that episode's over, and I put Doctor back on. People go nuts for The Witcher. Henry
I,
Cavill, you know,
I
Superman.
yeah, it's something I haven't.
I
No,
like Henry Cavill in it because he's got a very can-don't attitude. And he's very dry, very quick-witted, very short answers, very matter-of-factly. And it's just sort of like, that's what I'd like to say in that situation. But the other 96 minutes or whatever it is just, oh. So she used to have humpback, did she? Now she hasn't.
but you find there are so many like that.
Which can only bring us to Mum's review of European murder. Come on then. Who's made you think, this week?
Well, I watched that Hide and Seek, which was Polish. That got going and then finished, but they only do one season. It's sort of, and that the whole 8 episodes it takes to catch the killer. So that was that. So then I watched Angel of Death.
Comedy?
Yeah, much. But the police inspector was a woman, and she didn't have any psychological problems. She was an alcoholic.
Oh, I mean, hey, come on, that's not a personality disorder or a learning difficulty. That's an actual disease.
And I thought they'd have 8 episodes. So I was on episode 7 and it ended. But it went on to series 2, which was her trying to catch him.
Did you miss an episode, or they just put a weird divider in there?
You know, all these episodes, and then it ended with him still on the run. And I thought there'd be a big finish where they'd catch him and all the rest of it.
Like a finale?
Yeah, nothing. So that just ended. So I am now on, in between times, it said Agatha Christie. Whoa. Inspector Hirschon. It was Danishy type.
Okay.
I think if Agatha Christie was still alive, she would immediately say, I had nothing to do with that. It's rubbish.
You may have given money to my estate, but you have not done this with my blessing.
No. I couldn't even watch it.
No!
I gave it 1 episode.
And you put up with so much shit TV when it comes to foreign Scandi murder stuff. Your standards are here.
I just could not watch it. So I went on to, it's called Inspector Falk. And it's German. And it's okay-ish. I mean, I'll give it a go. I've watched 1 episode and episode 2 has started.
You've never just watched 1 episode. Well, that fake Agatha Christie must have been absolute drivel.
Oh, it was terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Wow.
He's supposed to be based on Hercule, but nowhere near.
But of course,
nowhere near.
Very disappointing to hear, Hastings.
And the girl who's his sidekick, you want to throw her overboard.
Was she not Miss Lemon?
Nope. Nothing at all. Just everybody was so annoying. I couldn't watch it. I thought it was unfair to even think that it was anything to do with Agatha Christie, that I couldn't bring myself to watch anymore. I felt I was being disloyal.
Yes.
So
Disloyal to the ghost of Aggie.
Yeah. So I'm now on Inspector Folk, and we'll see where this takes us.
Let's pick fault with Folk.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, hey, anything's going to be better than that. So, I mean, he's already winning, and he hasn't even started.
No. So yes, so I'm working my way through.
Gosh almighty. Well, my little box watchers, that brings us almost to an end.
Gosh, already.
Already. Time flies when you're slagging off shit TV. What nationality was the bad Hercule Poirot?
Danish.
Bad Danish.
Yeah.
So yes, so obviously we move on to the thank you. And it's a little bit thank you, a little bit sending love this week as well, because for those of you that are regular viewers of the show, you will know that the wonderful Mavanwi from Australia named little Ray after my most invested viewer of the world, Ray. So this is little Ray, but little Ray is not well. So everywhere around the world, I need people to send positive thoughts to Ray so that he can get better, because he's not feeling very happy. He's got a little bit of joint pain. So they're hopefully it'll heal. It can heal, but we have to send all that positivity across the globe all at the same time. So that's big love to Ray. But obviously, big thank you to Ray Radford, and obviously big love goes out to Mary. Then we've got Chris and Peter, and then of course we've got Elizabeth and Mervyn, and a big thank you to Noel for watching the show each week but not ringing. And then and a big thank you to all of you that got in on the chat. Let's see, we've got a comment to come through just then. Oh my goodness me. That cannot be what I think it is. Do you remember a gentleman a very long time ago used to go by the name of Hugh Janus?
Yes.
He's not dead, is the breaking news. Good night, lady. Wow. Obviously, he's been in the car crash. He's lost use of all of his fingers.
Where's he been?
Don't know. I've messaged a couple of times. Check he's been all right.
Has he been backpacking for a year? Did he take a year out? Gap year?
He's kidnapped by students in Durham, I think is what it was. Noel finds that very funny, what I just said. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining in on the chat, watching me each week, and for sharing the stream. It really is. Every time you press share and post it on your wall, honestly, it means the world to me that you'll help me. It is literally just click, and that's all you can do to help support myself doing the show each week. It means the world to me. Michael, Hugh Dennis is not who I named then. His name used to be a pseudonym called Hugh Janus. Hugh Dennis is a comedian of different ilk. Alistair, great show. Good night. Talk soon. Noel, love you both. Thank you guys, and obviously thank you to you, Mum. We will not be here next week. We will be back on the 20th because it's 4 on, 1 off. So yes, I will see you next Tuesday. Yeah, 20th.
And I will see you next week. 2 weeks' time.
The 20th.
Yes, that'll do.
But thank you so much, guys. Have a lovely week. Take care of yourselves. I need the viewing figures.
Yes. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Bye,
I hope it's sunny.